Hi there, welcome to week 3. Glad you made it this far. Got 2 weeks under your belt. It's a good feeling. You're on the way. This week is, this is my little introduction for you for week 3. This is an interesting week for you because for many of you, you'll notice some recurring themes. You'll notice that there's one reading that kind of alludes to things that you've read about in week 1. And that's on purpose. I want to kind of get that reintroduced into your mind, get you thinking about that again. Your philosophy, that kind of thing, objectivity versus ideology. I also am introducing some new terms and concepts. If you've looked at the course calendar, some people probably have done this and others have not, and that's okay, whichever one. Next week we're going to be reading in the Babby text a lot about these terms that you're reading in one of the articles this week, and that's also purposeful. This week, week 3 for me is, let's see, if we're thinking of research methods and this course as a pool, and we're all here for swimming lessons, I don't want you to jump into the deep end first without first being sure you're comfortable down there in the wading pool. So week 3 is sort of the wading pool for our course this semester, if you want to think about it that way. This is where I want you to refamiliarize yourself with some things you may have heard before. I want you to continue to think about ethics, because ethics isn't something that we just study in 1 week and then leave at the door and move on. It's something that we study and introduce in week 2, but it needs to go with us throughout the rest of the course. And I'm also introducing you to some new terms that you'll learn much more about in depth in the coming weeks. But I just want to get the terms into your head with some basic definitions, so they're bouncing around in there and they're becoming familiar. Next week when we read about them in our Babby textbook, we'll go much more in depth. And I don't want that to be the first time you've ever heard these terms. For some of you it won't be, but for many of you it will. And if we remember from my course intro, I know that we have lots of different levels of experience and knowledge about research methods. And so for those of you who this week is like, come on, Dr. Rose, pick up the pace. You know, you're losing me. I'm so bored. For those of you who are feeling that, just feel confident and know that you're at a great place, that nothing has challenged you too much yet, and you're moving right along. And remember that be empathetic to those people who might be struggling this week thinking, wait a minute, I still haven't gotten pre and postmodern, and now I got to learn about units of analysis. We're trying to go a little bit slow so that we can make sure that when we do start heading out into the deeper end, everybody's with us. Whether they have life vests on or not, we want them to be with us. So, and not left back on the, concrete decking, still, just got back from the concession stand or something. So, if you feel like things are moving a little slow for you, just bear with us. They'll speed up plenty in the weeks to come. And those of you who are still feeling overwhelmed, please know we're trying to bring you along slowly. So whatever place you are, it's okay. I guess that's my point. This week is, like I said, sort of a bridge week. It's the wading pool of the class. It is let's make sure we all are together on what we've done for the first 2 weeks, and let's just briefly introduce ourselves into what we're going to talk about next week in week 4. But let's just kind of start slow. This week you will hear some terms that will be very useful for you and very important for the rest of the course. Things like units of analysis, exploratory research, descriptive, explanatory, longitudinal, cross-sectional, all those things. Many of you have heard those before. Some of you haven't. Whatever your situation, it's okay. We're going to introduce those terms this week. Get them so that they're familiar terms, even if you don't necessarily understand the definitions fully. But I think the quiz will help you in that regard and getting those straight a bit. Remember, you can take the quizzes more than one time. So if you get something wrong, go check your work, go check it in the book, and go back and take it again. We're also going to learn about just here for the first time, about ecological fallacy and reductionism, which are 2 types of problems with using the wrong unit of analysis. So we're starting to delve into the methodology here and the design part of research. I want you, as I said before, to continue to bring ethics and ethical and political considerations into everything that you do for the rest of the course, into all of the ways you answer assignments and the way you write your proposal. I'll be looking for that when you do your design. Are you thinking about your participants? And are you taking the appropriate measures to reduce any risks to them, minimize any risks, and make sure that they're fully aware of the voluntary nature of their participation and how you'll maintain either their anonymity or their confidentiality. And if you can't, what you will do to minimize any possible repercussions. So, this is also the first week that you'll be starting to read this one, the Preparing Literature Reviews book. Several of you had indicated that you hadn't gotten it yet 2 weeks ago, and so I just want to make sure that this is the week you need it. So this is the week to get it out and dust it off if you already had it and wondered what you're going to do with it. And those of you who may still be waiting for it, it's the time to get on the phone with that shipper and find out where it is and what's going on. I'm not going to post PowerPoint slides for this book because those of you who do have it realize if you look at it, it is incredibly well laid out. I mean, this is sort of it. The chapters are bullets, so to put it on a PowerPoint would really be probably not too beneficial for you. It would just waste your time in opening an additional file. So we're going to start integrating sort of how we're going to do these lit reviews, how we select a topic, as at the same time we get into more nitty-gritty about the terms, concepts of research design, method of design, how you choose your design, how you figure out what you are going to do to find out what you want to find out. So, as I said, enjoy this week. I hope that you find it's a bit of an easier week, perhaps, than maybe you might have had so far, or if nothing else, it's an easier week than you're probably going to have in the future. So enjoy this week, take it all in, take in the new terms you may not have heard of before and really let them float around in your head and get a place where they feel like there's something you've heard before, they're familiar. Read the Lit Review book, the assigned chapters, and sort of get a feel for how you choose your topic and how you begin that quest, because the literature review is the way that you make a case for doing the study that you're going to do. So in some ways, it's some would argue it's one of the most important parts of the research proposal and research design. So, welcome to week 3. I hope you enjoy it and spend some time just getting used to the new ideas coming your way. And if you're already there, I appreciate your patience, and you can maybe get in the student lounge and help your fellow classmates come along with us. And if you're sitting there going, this is all so new, I'm already starting to feel a little overwhelmed, know that you're not alone. Ask questions, put them on the boards to me, to our TA Alan, to your peers even. Sometimes you learn the best from them. Use those quizzes as a self-check mechanism to make sure you're understanding, and ask questions as they come. Email me, Q&A boards, what have you. And it's going to be fun. See you online.